Hello world, it's Leigh Kelson coming to you live from our Gold Coast studio in Australia, and I'm joined today by a very special guest, entrepreneur, keynote speaker, diversity champion, and global super connector, I would say, Heather MacKenzie.
I
Welcome.
appreciate you having me on.
It's great to have you here. So we've got a lot to talk about today, and we've only got a
Yeah.
very short period of time to do that. So one of the really cool things is we caught up in Denver only about 4 or 5 weeks ago, right?
Right. Yeah. Thanks for making the visit.
It was awesome, and Boulder was great. I think you said you've had really windy weather over there the last couple of days, and now you got snow coming.
Yeah, we have. I know it's the end of April almost, and we'll have another snowstorm tomorrow night here,
Right.
and then it'll be 60, which I guess is like your 30 something.
30 something. Yeah, well,
30
you know,
something.
we're sort of we're
Just like me, 30 something.
yeah, right.
Quite.
Right. So, what's really exciting is that you're going to be coming out to Australia. The tour sort of starts from what date? About the 6th of May, is it?
Oh no, my first speaking gig is May 1st.
Oh,
in
okay.
Townsville.
So May 1st, so sort of around about the 17th, 18th in Brisbane, and then down to South Australia, possibly Sydney as well.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
That's
Cool.
it. I'll be there 3.5 weeks in country. I'm really excited for it.
Obviously, you're a passionate advocate for women in business. Why do you think that it is so important to support and fund women in early stage companies?
Well, I think it's important for a lot of different reasons. One, we're about to experience the largest wealth transfer that this planet has ever seen. And a significant amount of wealth will be transferred to millennial women. And so tapping into their expertise and their passions, and you and I talked earlier about this millennial generation and younger, the youth,
Yep.
really seeing the world in ways that our generation has not. In America, women get 4% of venture capital funding. It's very difficult for them. And part of it, I believe, is married into the hashtag Me Too thing, right? So we saw when women started coming forward here about 1.5 years ago, we really started, the floodgates sort of opened in America around sexual harassment. And a lot of it was out of Silicon Valley, which is where a lot of our venture capital comes from. And so, I've done empathy interviews with hundreds of female entrepreneurs and female founders. And there's a strong theme of the things that they have to think about beyond their business plan and beyond their pitch. They're having to think about, is this sweater I'm wearing appropriate? Should I wear a skirt or will they get the wrong message?
Right. Yeah.
Should I go into a pitch room alone with men?
Yeah.
I mean, things that men don't have to think about. And so it adds this extra layer of like a level of difficulty.
Yeah.
And then I think because our society has been primarily built by white men for white men, they don't see the value in some of these female funded or female founder startups. For example, I'm working with a young entrepreneur and she's got a bra company for women with small breasts. And men are like, that's not going to make money. And
Right.
she exceeded her Kickstarter goal by a lot. I mean, the demand is out there, right?
Yeah. But I mean, as you say, I'm a white male.
Yeah. And I love white males. I don't want to come across as somebody who's saying we should only fund women and all the women have to do.
No.
I firmly believe, Lee, we have to have men in the conversations and in the rooms with us.
Yeah.
And that's one of my fears about this whole Me Too movement is that it can feel polarizing at times. And I feel like this is also a hard time to be a white man, is my guess. Right? That's for sort of like, what do I say? What do I do? I don't want to say the wrong thing. Am I allowed to say you look nice today? Like all those things. So I seek to create more unification in the conversations I have, the workshops that I facilitate, because we need men in the room with us. It's all of us together.
It's actually about balance and diversity and inclusion of everybody, right?
Everyone.
That's the message, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You create more holistic solutions when you have more diversity around the table trying to solve the problem, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's all of us together.
Obviously passionate about diversity, but you practice it. You've got 6
I do.
wildly diverse kids.
Yeah, and it's like the coolest thing to me because they are all wildly different from one another. And yet have immense respect and support of one another. And so I would say they're all creatives of some sort. but I have a professional tuba player and musical arranger. I've got an Alaskan fisherman. I have a professional dancer and choreographer who's also a runway model, a chef in a Michelin star restaurant who's currently cooking his way through Italy right now. And then my youngest is looking to study forensic science with an emphasis on crimes against women and join the FBI here someday.
We've got a mutual acquaintance connection in Julie Trell, who's been doing a lot of fantastic work. Can you talk to us about Sheyo quickly?
Yeah, so Sheyo is a global movement. The founder is Vicky Saunders. She's an incredibly seasoned, experienced entrepreneur out of Toronto. I first encountered her in 2015 at a women's leadership conference in San Francisco, and she was getting ready to launch this network in the United States. And so both Julie and I were part of the founding team here in the US in 2016. And the concept is around both getting women funding. We've talked earlier about the problems that women have accessing capital, but also to get women more connected to their own capital and their own investments. Right. Women seem to have a fear of money. Yep. And so we have created this network where women come into the network, they donate $1,000 into the network, and then the money is aggregated and pooled, and all the women who are in the network vote for the ventures that they would like to see funded. And they're all female-owned, majority female-owned and female-led ventures that have some impact, some sort of a social impact message to them. And we funded 5 ventures here in the United States in our first go-round. Right. And we just funded another 5 here just a few weeks ago. Sheyo has launched in New Zealand this past year. They just funded their first 5 ventures. Fantastic. And the plan is to bring the concept to Australia.
You've recently joined a group called CORE. Can you tell us about CORE and what the work that they're doing?
Yes, I recently aligned myself with a boutique firm, an international boutique firm called the CORE. And we are a group of very seasoned, experienced entrepreneurs and executives who have held leadership positions in some of the biggest companies here in the US. So in and among our team, we have people who have held leadership positions at General Electric, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble. Those 3 are mine. Right. And we've got other former executives from Oracle, MapQuest, Google, Level 3 Communications, Quest, Cable Labs, and Techstars. Right. A lot of us in the group are mentors at Techstars or former Techstar graduates.
Right.
So I've got a little story that I'll share with you, Leigh, that maybe will illustrate this concept of childhood experiences and the effects they have on you. I have a crippling fear of flying. I can get on planes and I do it, but it is not pretty. And I have traveled all over the world, but Australia feels especially daunting to me to be out over the open ocean for so long. Yeah. And so I decided to go seek the help of a hypnotherapist. I thought maybe hypnotherapy will be some sort of help. And I'll be darned, the thing that came forward was the reason that I'm truly afraid of flying, again, goes all the way back to early childhood. I didn't feel safe and secure as a child. I had a very chaotic, unpredictable environment. Yep. And when I'm on an airplane and it's experiencing turbulence, it's like the little 4-year-old girl inside me, it just triggers and activates her. And so again, just having that understanding of what happened to you earlier in your life and the effects that it can have on your later life, I feel is the first important step. And then we'll see. I'm maybe going to be hypnotized on the plane and I'll cluck like a chicken for 13 hours. I don't know how it's going to go yet, but
yeah, I would just check what, like every time you hear a noise or someone clicks their fingers, you'll be running up and down the aisles.
Every time the little flight attendant thing ding goes on, Heather starts clucking like a chicken and flapping her arms. It's going to be great. It'll be really entertaining for everyone on the plane.
Oh dear. I could sit here and talk to you all day.
Thank you.
So
I've done that before.
We have done that before. That's right. The tour sort of starts from what date? About the 6th of May, is it?
Oh no, my first speaking gig is May 1st.
Oh, okay. So May 1st, so sort of around about the 17th, 18th in Brisbane, and then down to South Australia, possibly Sydney as well. Yep. Okay,
That's
cool.
It. I'll be there 3.5 weeks in country. I'm really excited for it.
Inspiring as usual, and hopefully she's not clucking like a chicken on the plane.
I mean, you guys can try some different things from the audience when I'm there. See what you can get me to do.
Okay, we'll look forward to seeing you when you get down under. Thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Leigh.